What's happening, man?
Shit.
How's that snow treating you?
Oh, wonderful. I'm have a fucking home made of Swiss cheese. It's just
you sound
great.
like you got some fucking congestion going on, man. You sick?
I'm a fucking hair bit sick, and I'm sick of snow. I mean, it got me off of work today, but all it does is have me running around with pots and pans trying to catch the next leak. It's ridiculous.
Right. Well, anyway, let's talk about, before we get talking about the Super Bowl, we got to talk about what everybody in the whole fucking country, anybody that follows football, is talking about, and that was Richard Sherman, the whole Richard Sherman saga. Obviously, everybody who's watching the show knows what happened after the Seahawks defeated the 49ers. Erin Andrews interviewed. I don't know if you want to call it an interview. I don't know if she even needs it. Does she need a hearing aid now?
I don't know. Well, she came out today and she said it was great. It was wonderful. I'm like, well, what else are you supposed to say? You supposed to look like the scared white woman that you obviously were when that happened? Well, who was talking about you? Come on, dummy. This is why you no longer work at ESPN.
Right. It was, and there's two sides to everything. Like, I mean, we've discussed it a little bit before the cameras came on, and it's like, there are going to be people that were fans of it. Believe me, he got mad Twitter followers after this shit. People loved it.
150,000.
Is that how many he got?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people loved it. It depends who you are, what kind of person you are. Some people obviously, resorted to saying, you monkey, all kinds of shit. People just, and it's funny. And for those people out there, when you're that hyped up and someone slams a microphone in your face and everybody's came up to you and pumped you up and you're just it's easy to make that 15-second mistake. It is. And I think at one point or another, we've all probably been there and you're like, damn. And I'm sure Richard Sherman probably says, you know what? As much as he'll deny, he's probably saying, sure, yeah, I went a little overboard. But when you're hyped the fuck up, you just start fucking saying shit. And then, a couple hours later, you're like, oh shit, I went fucking ape shit.
Yeah, but if you look at it at that standpoint, even a couple hours later, he wasn't, his attitude and his tone and the way he was delivering it might have been different, but the message was still the same. He was giving an interview after the game and fully dressed up after showering, letting everyone know that Michael Crabtree was a mediocre receiver.
Oh, right. Dang. He doesn't. Hello?
Yeah, no, this is me dropping my iPad.
I don't know what the history is with him and Michael Crabtree. I don't know.
Supposedly, during a thing for the NFL where they do like a community service type pickup type game where they get a bunch of athletes together and send them somewhere and they play in the community. Him and Richard Sherman did not get along during that as well, and Sherman walked up to Crabtree after the game and tried to shake his hand and say good game, and he got snuffed off then too. So my thing is the media, in my opinion, it just shows you how pussified of a country we've become, where the actions of somebody like Richard Sherman have become front page news story and racial slurs. Like, and this is the thing I was saving to ask for you. How would this country right now, today, deal with Muhammad Ali in his prime?
Oh, they couldn't deal with it.
Exactly.
Dude. I mean, because it's Muhammad Ali was a
shit-talking motherfucker.
He was a shit-talking motherfucker. And you see it with some of the MMA athletes when we report on that, and that's not really in the mainstream yet. And that is why it's not in the mainstream, because if those athletes, if you saw the Chael Sonnens and those people talking like that, and everybody was getting a hold of that, it would be crazy. But you're right. I mean, Ali, he was nuts. And this is the thing. This is one of the things we talk about. The way Richard Sherman reacted. I mean, some people are going to like it. Some people are going to dislike it. Some people are going to say he went overboard. When it first happened, I was like, oh shit, fucking Busta Rhymes, rah, rah, like a dungeon drag. he looked like Busta Rhymes going fucking off in one of his videos.
I mean, they didn't throw at the guy all game long. They make the one throw at him. He defends the play perfectly, and he bats the ball back, and his guy gets a pick. And then the other thing they always go back to is you go back to this interview where Skip Bayless keeps, are you better than Darrelle Revis? Darrelle Revis has been in the league 6 years. Now, mind you, he missed one. So he missed one with an ACL.
Right.
Now, how many interceptions does Darrelle Revis have in 6 years in the NFL?
I have no idea.
21. Richard Sherman has been in the league 3 years. How many interceptions does Richard Sherman have?
I don't know. I think he had like 8 this year, didn't he?
20.
Yeah.
He has 20 picks in 3 years. Like, seriously, if he's not the best corner. But here's the thing that's amazing to me. Cornerbacks are almost becoming interchangeable, just like running backs. Like, Richard Sherman was picked up in, what, the 5th round?
Yeah, he was. I mean, and it's how they develop once they get, and one of the things about Pete Carroll was a defensive back when he played. I don't know if a lot of you people realize that. And so that was his position. He played when he played football. So he is definitely going to be in tune. And you see how that defensive backfield for the Seattle Seahawks, how everybody's good.
Can you imagine the shit talk that Carroll heard when he was a white DB lining up on a black receiver?
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord! It was, to me, it's no different than looking at Jason Sehorn.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, man. You look at it, it's like Pete Carroll. He doesn't shut that shit down.
No,
he's like whatever. He doesn't shut. A lot of coaches, like Bill Cowher or something like that, be like, if you act like that again, you need to calm down. Like you're reflecting our whole team, our program.
They'll take it a step further. A guy like that on the Steelers wouldn't be there long. James Harrison eventually wore out his welcome. Bye.
Yeah, so it tells you that Pete Carroll's willing to co-sign to it. It's like, hey, fuck it, whatever. He's that kind. Pete Carroll kind of has run the score up a couple times. He doesn't give a fuck
because he's running a frat house. That's why.
Right, he really does. And as long as they're producing,
I bet his locker room and practice facility looks and smells and acts just like a fucking frat house, dude. I bet they're just crazy, loud music, just acting completely nuts. And just like you said, as long as they're performing and winning games. Now, what happens next year if for some reason they go 8-8?
Well, next year could be a big issue for him because a lot of those guys are under those rookie salaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When does that fall off? And you've got a lot of people that are going to want money on the Seattle Seahawks. Like, right now you think, okay, what are you going to pay someone like Richard Sherman? And I could be wrong, but I think he's up to be, you got a lot of these guys that are going to be like, okay, I want some cheese. I'm in the NFL and I'm performing and I want some money,
especially, can you imagine if they get a ring? If Seattle wins this, and now you're done with your rookie contract, short of Russell Wilson, I think Russell Wilson would stay he seems like the type of guy who would stay in one spot forever. But somebody like Richard Sherman, I mean, I'm not knocking him. And the thing that kills me is everyone wants to challenge this man's intellect. He graduated from Stanford. Like he finished, he got a degree. He is not dumb by any stretch of the means. Like if you listen to him in his other interviews, he's a very intelligent, well thought out, well put together, well spoken man. And it's funny that people call this man every racist name in the book.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, real quick, before you go on, George. Richard Sherman is a very educated man, very articulate and stuff like this. And he went on and pled his case. And when I heard that interview, he made a good point, kind of like he dissected Skip Bayless. He's going to tell you he's the best. He's got confidence, and he's not afraid to tell everybody. But when the people who reacted to Richard Sherman reacting just as fast by posting shit like you fucking black monkey on Twitter and stuff like this, that you're no better than you're no different than the man you're calling out. You're no different than Richard Sherman. I say you're reacting you see him do something and you react the exact same way, bam, and put out some stupid shit. You know what I mean? That's racist. He's saying shit, and believe it or not, that is true. I'm not a Seahawk fan, but I'm going to tell you what, Richard Sherman is the best corner in the game right now. I mean, that's what he's saying. Should you have thrown at me? Fuck no, you shouldn't have thrown at me. Is Michael Crabtree a mediocre receiver? He's got great hands. He can snag shit out of the air, but I don't think he's built up to be what everybody thought he was when he came out of college. So, I mean, the things he's saying are true. There's no denying that. The guy's got some very valid points. But when you come out there and you react by posting the shit that some of these people were posting on Twitter and making a racial thing, then you're just fucking whack, man.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Now,